And we just heard the closing bell on this Tuesday, July 7th, 2009.
Let's take a look at the action today as the market settles in here, and those equity averages pretty much settling in at their lows of the day. A bunch of selling. As you know, we've seen a bunch of selling over the last 3 weeks. 3 consecutive weekly declines on the S&P. More selling today. The S&P 500 down 2% here as we settle in. The Dow 30, a decline of 164 points, or down nearly 2% as well. And the Nasdaq taking the biggest hit, I should say, on a percentage basis. That average down about 2.3%.
All right, every S&P industry group ended lower today. Industrials, information technology, and energy led the declines after oil prices dropped for a fifth straight day.
All right, so as you know, stocks closing the day lower as investors really await the kickoff to earnings season tomorrow. Lydia Thu at the NYSE with more on today's trading. So here we are, Lydia, settling in pretty much at our lows of the day.
Carol, wow, here we are, exactly. Very broad decline here. You've got, as you said, all 10 groups in the S&P lower, but also when you look at the volume numbers here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, about a billion shares exchanging hands here, and about 82% of that was to the downside. So very broad declines, definitely clear direction as far as where the participation was in the market today. Now, in particular, when it comes to the sectors, we saw weakness in energy and material stocks early on, but what really took over throughout the afternoon were the industrials and the technology stocks. What you did have, though, was the defensive stocks outperforming, though also lower on the day. That would be your healthcare and consumer staples outperforming also throughout the day. Another level I want to point out on the S&P 500, we fell below the 200-day moving average, and we actually closed below it. The 200-day moving average was in the 885 range. We're closing here around 881 on the S&P 500. I was just chatting with Ben Willis over at BDM Institutional Brokerage. He's on the floor here. He says that is a bearish development, if you will, dropping below that 200-day moving average. Of course, all eyes focused on the unofficial kickoff to earnings season tomorrow with Alcoa. I know that Courtney's going to be getting into that more and what their CEO had to say on Bloomberg television there. But bottom line, traders really just setting up a little bit lower here, sending stocks lower ahead of those earnings announcements.
Hey, but we also saw weakness in financials today. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the biggest decliner in the S&P 500 was AIG. Those shares have been declining all month, well, the first few days of the month, ever since they did their reverse stock split where they turned 20 shares into one. Also, we did get those headlines on a jury rejecting AIG's claim, seeking $4.3 billion from a company run by Hank Greenberg. So that stock dropping double digits. Also seeing weakness in some of the exchanges like Intercontinental Exchange and CME Group. Matt, back to you.